On this episode, we talk with musician and tech entrepreneur Mario Butler about his music sharing platform, Dreamster.
So if you want to peek into how Thai and international musicians are using cutting-edge tech to connect with fans, you'll dig this episode of the Bangkok Podcast.
Sawadee krap and welcome to the Bangkok Podcast. My name is Greg Jorgensen, a Canadian who came to Thailand in 2001 to develop a strain of maple-infused rice, but hasn't yet figured out a way to graft a maple tree onto a rice stalk.
That's a genuinely good idea.
I think it's awesome. I would eat that every single day.
And I met Kenneth, an American who came to Thailand on a one-year teaching contract over 25 years ago, fell in love with trying to read and understand Thai political campaign ads, so I never left.
Yeah. So first you got to understand the Thai. Then you got to understand the context.
That's
and
right.
Then you got to understand the history. So
it's like I'm a politics person, but the language is a pretty big barrier. But you can tell a lot from a person's face, and the style of the ads. I'm always trying to figure out what is this person trying to say, even though I can't read the Thai.
Yeah. Wasn't it South Korea politics? Like the politicians always brawled each other, like they were always throwing chairs and jumping over bars and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's happened in Korea, maybe Taiwan a couple times, yeah.
Thankfully not here yet.
All right, we want to give a big thanks to all of our patrons who support the show. Patrons get every episode a day early, behind-the-scenes photos of our interviews, a heads up to send questions to upcoming guests, and access to our Discord server to chat with me, Greg, and other listeners around the world. But best of all, patrons also get an unscripted, uncensored bonus episode every week where we riff on current events and Bangkok topics. On this week's bonus show, we chatted about some pint-sized tech accessories that allow us to geek out a little bit, another entry in the Ed drama series, this time about some power tools that went missing from my place, and brief discussions about the dangers of driving on Ramatu Road, and Greg's gigantic bruise on his arm, which he got from not holding his bow correctly while in archery class. To learn how to become a patron and get all this good stuff, plus full access to over 800 bonus and regular back episodes, click the support button at the top of our website.
You can be sure I learned how to hold the bow after that. That'll learn me.
Heck yeah.
Right, and as always, if you have a comment, a show idea, or just want to say hi, head to bangkokpodcast.com and click the little microphone button on the bottom right. Leave us a voicemail, and we'll play that on the show. Right then, on this episode, we chat with entrepreneur Mario Butler, the founder and CEO of Dreamster.io, a platform that lets musicians build online communities around their fan base, and importantly, lets fans own the music they purchase instead of essentially renting access to it month by month as you do with a streaming service. Now, Mario was recently in town from the US talking with Thai musicians about partnerships in the music industry landscape, which has seen quite a bit of change ever since Napster busted the doors open in 1999. Driven by emerging technology like the blockchain, decentralized ownership, online exchanges, and more, it seems that the music industry is about to undergo another gigantic change. Fascinating stuff for people who sit amidst the Venn diagram of tech dork and music fan, like both Ed and I do. Although despite that, I do have to mention that, rather ironically, it turns out that I had a different mic selected during our interview, like a total noob, so my audio sounds a little bit hollow, but thankfully, the hero of our story, Mario, sounds suitably awesome. So here is my fascinating chat with Mario Butler from Dreamster. All right, well, I'm excited to be talking to a fellow geek who I just met online, although judging by the size of his arms, he spends a bit more time in the gym than I do. Welcome, Mr. Mario Butler. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I see you're calling us from Pattaya, where you and your boys have been doing some business development and exploration and meetings, and I imagine all kinds of cool stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So we are here in, I guess we pronounce it as Pattaya or Pattaya.
It's funny you say that. And no shade thrown to you, but one of
Yeah.
the things that us long-term jaded, bitter asshole expats always complain about is that you can immediately tell someone's a noob here when they say Singha or Pattaya. So it's
Uh,
actually Sing and Pattaya. But that's
Patia.
me on my high horse.
Patia. All right. So yeah, so we're down here in Patia right now, and are we are actually, we came to the Southeast Asian region to actually introduce our platform and what we're building for the music industry. And so primarily we noticed a lot of the pain points that musicians have been experiencing within the past 20 years, dealing with the streaming platforms. And we know, that what streaming platforms did, they created a really, really good niche product to distribute music. But a lot of the musicians did not know that once they actually put their music on these platforms, that the revenue wasn't going to be the same as it was from selling vinyl records, cassette tapes, and CDs. And so basically, in short, we're creating a new category to be able to sell music and for fans to be able to own music. And so basically, this new category we're coining the term. It's called digital music assets. And so, in short, this is you're basically going to be able to own music again, just like you were owning music through vinyl records, cassettes, and CDs, but in a digital format. So think of it as a digital format with programmable rights inside the in the digital format that you receive. Yep.
It's really interesting, man. So let's talk about that first. Let's talk about the whole concept of how music has evolved with the introduction of these new technologies first, and then we'll get into a little bit about exactly how Dreamster operates and what you're doing with the Thailand market
Yep.
more specifically. So, I'm super fascinated by this. And although this isn't merely a Bangkok centric topic, my co host Ed and I are both tech nerds. And I think a lot of our listeners are also kind of skewed toward the geekier side of things. So,
Yep.
it's been really, really interesting watching how this has developed over the years. And full disclosure, I have illegally downloaded gigabytes of music over my lifetime, like I think a lot of people
Right.
have. And I've personally got a bit of a complicated relationship with copyright, trademark, and things like that. But
Yep.
I do believe that artists should be compensated. Now, I don't have all the solutions, I don't have all the answers. But back in the day, you went to a CD store. I stood in line for November Rain, for Use Your Illusion, Guns N' Roses. Like, I bought those CDs. They were mine forever. And I
Yes.
think over the past decade or 15 years, we've seen all these amazing new promises with this new technology platforms, whether it's Facebook and the news publishers or Spotify and the music publishers or something like that. And I think they kind of ate our lunch. And now I pay for my Apple Music subscription, but if I stop paying, I don't have anything. So basically, I'm not owning music anymore. I'm renting music, and that's a massive shift.
Exactly. And that's one of our one of the pain points that we want to address, to the music fans, right? Um, of course, it is a luxury because I still have like Apple Music, and I listen to music on like YouTube and all of that. But you're only getting access to listen, right? Which is it's cool. I mean, it was a niche idea, right? When Apple Music and Spotify and all these other platforms that came out with these streaming services, it gave musicians the opportunity to get their music to everybody, for everybody around the world to be able to listen to the music. Um,
Yeah.
and it worked for those major platforms. It worked for those major companies. They were able to monopolize the industry and and generate billions of dollars, right?
Right.
And so now everybody's really, they caught wind of what's really been going on. Like, man, we struggling. We basically we're spending more on marketing than we're generating per month.
Yeah.
To try to promote the music. And so yeah, so we're here now. My background, I've been in the music industry in Atlanta for 20 plus years now. And so we produce some hip hop artists in Atlanta back in the day. One hip hop artist named was Maceo. We produced another artist named Young Scooter, who passed away. He passed away last year.
Mhm.
And then we had another artist that a lot of people may know of, Future. So Future used to work with us, and get to hop on mixtapes and everything. But before he got big, and so we worked in the music industry, and this was at the end, towards the end. It was 2003, 2004 when we were working with these artists. But that was like the end of selling CDs, right? So we were actually printing up CDs and handing them out. We were we
Right.
were
Yeah.
still we were
Old
still
school.
printing out mixtapes and everything, and passing those out on putting them on people's cars, and it was an adventure.
Man, how much do you miss making mixtapes for someone you have a crush on? Hey, back in the day, like that
Oh
was
man,
that brought you real close to the value of an individual song and what it said, right?
for sure.
That's a dying art. That's an art that's on the way to the dodo.
Yeah, yeah, and you get to see a different side of the musician on a mixtape. That you get to see them, who they like. You get to see their skills. You get to see their creativity. You get to really develop a relationship with that artist, because you're like, man, I like him. I'm ready for him to come out and drop a whole EP. And so yeah,
Yeah. So this new technology, then it's a double edged sword, I think, and it's great on one hand because it's just so convenient. And we've seen it evolve from a long time. I remember years ago, like David Bowie, I think, was the first one to sell shares in in his catalog, in his future output. I think this was
yeah,
like 25 years ago now,
right,
and it was a radical idea at the time. But
mhm,
he was a trailblazer. And then you saw, a lot of these old school musicians like Dr. Dre, or I'm drawing a blank now, but a lot of these guys got in on the ground floor early,
right,
and
right,
they really changed how things are done. And
yep,
now, the consumption of music is just so easy. And I want you to explain. I'm going to play devil's advocate here,
yep,
but why is owning music again better? Like, let's remove the artists sort of get a more direct control over their output and their relationship with fans. But in terms of technology, why would this be a more beneficial system to use versus
right.
me? I don't mind paying a few bucks every month for Apple Music. Works fine. So it's if it ain't broke.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because I actually had an interview. Let me see, day before yesterday, with a music producer down here in Patsiao, and he was saying that he's going to start going direct to consumer, and so it's selling his music direct to consumer. So I'm like, all right, well, what's the incentive for fans who want to make purchase that music directly from you as a musician? What are they going to get? I say, because right now music fans are very content with being able to pay this $10 subscription and get unlimited music, right? And so he was like, well, I'm gonna, these are people that want to support me. They have a better connection, things like that. So I said, well, that's not really gonna move the fan enough to want to buy directly from you. So basically, what us at Dreamster, the reason why fans are gonna want to purchase a digital music asset, because it's exactly what it says. It's an asset. So the first thing that makes it an asset, because when they purchase the music, what happens on behind the scenes that the fans don't know, this is a blockchain transaction. So basically, that gets stamped in on this ledger, or decentralized ledger, that it records to show that you actually do own this particular item. But aside from that, the real ownership, it pays dividends. Basically, every time more fans come in and purchase the music, because you are a music holder, you get paid a portion of the dividends from a particular pool. And so this is something that we have automatically built into our smart contract. And so
Hmm.
and so once you sign up on the account, you don't have to do anything. You sign up with the email, you come in, it's nothing crypto related, right? You sign up with an email address, you log in, you can log in with Apple ID, whatever you want to log in with. You come in, you make the purchase, you purchase with a credit card or debit card, you purchase the music, you can purchase multiple copies of the music. Now this music sits in your collection, right? You can play the music just like an Apple Music.
Could I play it
Now
on my, like, what app should I use?
you can
Any
play it.
app?
You can play it on the app, or you can play it on our app, or you can play it on your desktop. You can play it on your mobile phone. But we will have there will be an app for it as well, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so you'll have the very similar setup as an MP3 player. But the thing
Okay.
is, when you make the purchase and you hold the music, you're earning dividends, you're earning revenue just from holding the music. The second thing is you get access to all types of benefits and perks that the musician has put into the music. So they can program it, they can enter in, they can put, if they have a partnership with, let's just say they have a partnership with Adidas or Nike, then it's because you hold this music, you can go to the Nike store and you get 25-30% off the merchandise.
Oh,
Let's
that's
say
really cool. I see.
yeah, yeah. So they can do brand deal partnerships. They can partner with different venues or restaurants. So let's say they partner with a nightclub that you like to go to. You can go to the nightclub part to get in free because you own the music. All you have to do is go up, take it in, and a QR code pops up to show that you are owner of the music, and you can get into that venue, or they give you discount access, whatever. Same thing for
Hmm.
access to a concert or refreshments or backstage pass. The musician can put pretty much anything, and we also, so basically you have what's called a benefits page, because you own on every song that you own. You click on your benefits page, you can see everything that you own, right? The artist can put unreleased music into the album. They can give you access to downloadable stems. They can give you access to private Discord channels. They can give you access to the customized perks and benefits, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that's the second thing why people are gonna want to buy it. The third thing is, and this is the main ingredient, because more people are buying it, the price goes up like a stock, right? And so
Okay.
you can buy as many copies of the music as you want. And so you can buy as many copies of the music, the music price increases like a stock. You can sell the music directly back to our platform at any time. Our smart contract buys the music back.
So if I buy some, so back in the old days, I remember many times I got burned. I got a band I liked, and I went out and bought a new album, and I got it home, and there's one good song on it. I'm like, oh, this sucks. I just wasted $18. What happens if I buy an album from an artist and I'm like, not really for me? I can sell it back.
You can sell it back. So the thing is, you would really probably want to wait until more fans buy, because you can sell it for profits, right? But
Oh, interesting.
if you sell it back too soon, then you're going to lose a little bit of money, because the way our smart contract work, some of the money divides and goes to different places. So you have to wait till you get past a certain threshold in order for you to be in the profits.
That's like most any asset, right? You can't
Yeah.
just flip it immediately. You got to wait for a little time for it to build value.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what this does, this prevents people from coming in trying to rug pull the platform and do all different types of things. But this is what we did here. We basically solved the problem that NFTs couldn't solve, right? A lot of people were, really hyped, and they were creating all these different images and pictures that were not worth anything, and they were attaching it to a non-fungible token. And so they would put it out on the NFT marketplace, and they would say, "Yeah, this picture is worth $50,000." But
Some market.
where did the value come from, and who's going to buy it, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the issue with NFTs. There was no market for the things that people were putting out on the marketplace, right?
Right.
Because nobody knew where this value was derived from. And so basically, we eliminated that because we have our own liquidity market, right? So that's why we're able to buy the music back, because it does increase in value, because we have what is called a bonding curve built into the mechanism on the smart contract.
Man, young kids like yourselves are all up on this, and I'm fairly technically competent, but I'm starting to have my flashing VCR moment, which is what my granddad have with the flashing VCR. And for me, it was like, it was easy to figure out, but for him, he just couldn't get it. And I'm starting to see myself bumping up against some of these concepts. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to be able to understand this. So I'm
right.
just looking through your website, and your website is Dreamster.io. And it's got
Yes,
a lot of really cool descriptions and explanations on there. But it all sounds pretty high tech, man. I really like what you said about being able to offer your fans stuff. And of course, our podcast, we use Patreon, which
right.
we really like. And basically, what it allows you to do, it sounds like a similar concept, is like, here's my little club, here's what we do. And if you want to buy into the club, you get a little extra something, something whenever we want to put a little something, something out. But yours sounds sort of much more comprehensive, far reaching, and technologically advanced.
Yeah. So what we've done, right? So what a lot of the issue was with a lot of other music platforms that are trying to do things outside of Spotify, Apple Music. A lot of them, were building with blockchain technology, but you had to either log in with a cryptocurrency wallet. You had to know how to purchase cryptocurrency and send
Right.
it to the wallet, and then you have to actually make the purchase with the wallet, and then stuff gets sent to your wallet. So we eliminated all of that, right? So as a user, when they come to the platform, they don't see any crypto language. They don't see any crypto crypto components, and so we built all of that on the back end, right? And so
Okay.
you don't see any of that. So you log in with a email, you log in with the Apple ID, you make purchases with credit card, debit cards. The music is transferred directly. There's a button that you can see. You can press that's called base scan, where you'll be able to see like your receipt for your transaction. Um, Also, you can transfer assets, right? So let's say if you bought 50 copies of a song, the price was at $1. You bought 50 copies, you spent $50. Now you're pretty much you own 50 copies. If you want to transfer and send 10 out to 10 different people, you can send music. You can share the music and send it, and now they own that music
It's
because
like gifted, basically.
you can gift it. Yes, you can gift the music, and so because this is yours, you own it, right? And because on the back end technology, this is all these are all cryptographic transactions that are stamped in on the blockchain.
Right.
And
Right.
so once you make a transfer, that transfer you're able to verify that by pressing the button we have on there called base scan. And so you'll be able to prove it and say, hey, yeah, I've transferred it to you. Now you own one.
Flashback to the old days when the Zune came out, and they thought it was pretty cool to be able to share like 3 songs with someone close to you, and the verb they chose was squirt, which didn't work out too
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, man. So I look at it like this, right? A lot of people use Amazon and Amazon Prime, and they purchase movies. I've purchased movies on Amazon, right? And after purchasing the movie, it goes to a category called My Stuff. And so I still have about 15 movies on there right now. So I can go in, I can watch the movies anytime, but I did make the purchase, right? I spent my money.
Yeah.
I I own it, but it's still controlled and owned by Amazon, right?
And they could
I
take it
can't,
away anytime.
yeah, I can't do anything with that movie, right? I can't sell it to you. I
Right.
can't transfer it to you. I can't sell it to anybody else, right? And so that's not an asset, right? It's they give you access basically. Same thing you're almost doing with the streaming, but you don't have to pay a monthly fee.
Hmm. Interesting.
So yep. So that's with us. We're bringing back true ownership of the music, and so we built this thinking also everything that's happening right now with AI, and so AI is creating, they're generating music, and it sounds really really good. AI is they're almost able to duplicate everything and better than a human creator, right? But for us, we're curating the platform where you have to go through certain you have to go through certain steps as a musician. And so, because fans want to be connected to a real musician, they want to be connected to a real artist.
Mm.
They still want to listen to real musicians. And so we basically eliminated that. We got some technology built in the back end where we can verify that this music was not generated by AI. We do certain verification checks to verify that the musician is a real musician. And so we pretty much handled all of that before any artist drops on our platform.
That's really interesting, and that's going to be an increasingly thorny issue going forward. I think it already is, but and I find myself, I'm looking at Instagram now, and I see a cool video or something, and but it's already gotten to the point where the wow factor is gone because I'm like, oh, that's cool, probably AI. I could do that on my computer at home. There's nothing special about that. But if I knew it was real, then I can retain some of that wow factor. I think that stays in there. That's a really cool idea. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So let's talk about Thailand a little bit. Like, I've lived in Thailand for 25 years, and Thailand's always been a little bit of a wild west in terms of its relationship with copyright and musicians and stuff like that. A bit more or less so these days as it becomes more avant-garde and developed. But you used to be able to buy CDs on tables down in the night markets, and you can still torrent things and download things online, and no one really cares. Every once in a while, you'll see the police bust up a shop selling counterfeit DVDs or something like that. But I really think it's just so they can sort of get their picture in the paper and remind everyone, like, hey, we're still here, and if we want to, we can come down and bust you open. But what's been your experience talking with Thai artists and the Thai music scene? Like, what's special about it? What's unique about it? And how do they see technology like Dreamster?
So most of the Thai artists we talk to, they're very creative. They're very creative. They have a very cool digital. They're high level with. They're already up on the latest technology here. The fans are very loyal, and but we noticed that most of the Thai musicians, they understand a lot of these markets. They understand this technology a lot more than a lot of other places. And for us, we primarily want them to know that we're working with you. We're here to support you as a top musician, and we're here to bring real revenue to you as a musician, because we understand the payouts from streaming platforms, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, to be honest, in order to generate 3 to 4 thousand bucks a month, you got to have 1 million streams,
It's a lot for an internationally recognized artist, let alone Thai artist.
and it's difficult, man. It's difficult to get 100,000 streams.
Hmm.
I think I did some research. I did some research about. Let me see. This is about a couple of months ago. I did some more research. Like, what was the average streams? What were the average streams per month? Within the last 90 days. I think the average per amount of streams were 3 to 400.
Oh, really?
3 to 400 streams for, let's just say, across the board for independent artists is about 3 to 400 streams per month.
That's like a rounding error, basically, for some of the bigger ones.
And yeah, yeah. If you kind of if you break all the different musicians that are on the platform, all the independent, and you kind of just you do the math on it. I got about. I mean, if you look it up now, you can go on any platform. You can chat GPT it. Man, this stuff is it's heartbreaking, because these musicians, they put a lot of effort and time into their craft.
Yeah.
And so we primarily wanted to come here to Thailand because we knew that these musicians out here, they would probably understand this technology way quicker than anywhere else. Not undermining any other country, but they have the loyal fans. They are very proactive when it comes to uh, getting involved with technology, and
Mm.
utilizing some of the newest technology out here. So we're here, and we're interviewing and meeting with people like you, and we're meeting with different musicians. Connected. We actually met with another producer in a Good Sound Studio here in Pattaya, and they work with a lot of major musicians that come through as well. And so, and they were blown away by what we're building. They were like, man, you need to hurry up. They're ready. Uh,
Yeah, that's cool. Now, I think anyone who is an artist, be they a painter or a musician or a you know performance artist, whatever, I think artists sort of inherently recognize the value in getting compensation for their time and their creativity. But have you noticed anything like as a musician yourself from the US, and you've probably got a lot of experience talking to other musicians around the world, have you noticed anything unique or special about the Thai music scene or Thai artists, about how they approach creativity and music and ownership and all those things?
um, my thing is they don't have limits. They don't. They're not afraid. They don't hold back. Right. You know, they express themselves with unique appearance on their wardrobe. Uh, they're very passionate when they're on stage. I saw a Thai artist in a nightclub over in Bangkok, and he was performing like he
Mm,
was like he put a lot of energy and effort into crafting his performance. With the choreography of the dance, his wardrobe, his appearance, and they were just 110% effort in it. And so that's what I noticed. That's what I noticed. The first thing I noticed, and then it's just the drive, the
mm.
passion to put out new music, the passion to put the work in.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen in the Thai era.
My take on it too, I think part of it is what's driving them is I think Thailand is, and this is purely my opinion, but I think Thailand is sort of undergoing a interesting shift right now culturally and demographically.
Mhm.
Um, the young people, I think this is probably only the first and a half or second maybe generation who's had really basically unlimited access to Western culture and Western media and entertainment and things like that. There,
Right.
a lot of them have been educated overseas, and now they're coming back and starting families. So, sort of like the younger kids have a lot more opportunity to put their foot down and express themselves in ways that might go against the traditional way of expressing yourself in Thailand. And of
Yeah.
course, on the podcast a lot, we talk about how Thailand, on paper, is actually a traditional Buddhist culture, but underneath the surface, there's actually a little bit more going on. And
Mhm.
I think a lot of Thai artists, whether I see them at like illustration exhibits or live performances or
Mhm.
whatever, are really good at embracing new ways to define themselves and sort of raise the middle finger to the establishment in, in,
Right.
in ways slightly different than you or I would have done in our own cultures.
For sure. Of course. I mean, you have platforms like TikTok. You got platforms, of course, Instagram and Snapchat, and I mean, even YouTube now. Right? YouTube has a bunch of shorts that you can put on there as well. And yeah, man, it's like they're adopting cultures from all over.
Mhm. Yeah,
They're adopting cultures from all over because, like I said, they don't. From what I've seen, they don't have a limit right now. The younger generation, they don't have a limit. They just, they want to express themselves is exactly how they want to express themselves.
yeah, right. And I think they've got constraints and sort of limits pushing down on them that we wouldn't have. Things
Mhm.
you're just simply not allowed to say here, which we don't have in the West.
Right,
Never used to have in the West. There's a lot of familial pressure where your
Mhm.
parents sort of decide what you're going to do when you get older that generally a lot of us in the West don't have. And so there's a lot of these little nuanced cultural things that I think they're saying like, oh, I can take the power back and I can be myself through this new technology, whether it's TikTok or Dreamster or whatever, and they can carve out their own little niche. So it's really
right.
interesting to see how they're adopting these things.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, I know for even for the younger generation, this is going to be a very very new concept, right? When you start talking about owning music, and so
That's right. They were born after, after
right,
Spotify was around, some of them, right?
right, and so and that's another thing for us, as developing this platform. We built out an NFT marketplace, and we saw all the different pain points with that. We understood why this NFT marketplace wasn't going to work, and so we had to go back to the drawing board. But the younger generation, man, they like it. They like everything fast, right then, right now, right?
Yeah.
And so the same way, by building this thing out, we had to make sure even the payment process is quick, right? We had to integrate with the right companies, and we had to get the right partnerships to build this stuff into the platform. And so even that process is we made it, oh, you put your phone number in, you get a verification code, and you can make the payment.
Nice.
So some of these other companies we had integrated, you had to you had to fill out, you put your email address in, and it's a whole, but like it was too tedious. I said, man, by the time they get to putting their first and last name, they are already
I'm
done.
out.
They
I'm
like,
out.
I'm out. Yeah.
I told my 11-year-old that I used to have to go down to the post office and get a money order, and then put that in an envelope and send it away to Archie Comics or whatever I was going to buy, and wait 3 months for it to show up at my door. He's like, God damn, how old are you?
Man, yeah. So yeah, but we just want to make sure, that fans and artists, both can benefit from what we're doing, right? And so,
Right.
let's say if you're a musician and you come to the platform, and let's say you have a collaborator that you did a song with, or you got like producers and writers, and they need to get paid as well. They can easily put in their information as far as you would put in an account. You just put their account number in there, and you put the percentage of split they're supposed to get paid.
Hmm.
And so once they put that percentage of split they're supposed to get paid, this is all during the process of them uploading the music and everything. Once they do that, it only happens once. You only need to do it once, and that information gets locked into a contract, and it gets stamped on the blockchain. And so now, every time transactions occur, that process is automated. So
Right.
they don't have to, and it's verifiable, right? So they can click that button on the platform, and they can prove, like, okay, your payouts went here. This how much, you can see it real time. And so
Right.
you don't, and musicians don't have to wait on, they don't have to wait for a certain amount for a certain period of time, 30 days, 60 to 90 days for a payout.
Interesting.
You can withdraw every day.
Well, man, it sounds like you built a hell of a system here, and looking at the website, it seems pretty comprehensive, and a bit above my brain comprehension level. But it's a cool concept, man, and I'm excited to see people doing cool stuff like this that's evolving with the evolving needs, to meet the evolving needs of what people want. And
For sure.
uh, it's really cool, man. So yeah, everyone check out it's Dreamster.io. We'll have a link in our show notes, and Mario and his gang are going to be here exploring the Thai market, and who knows, man, you might see like Lisa or some really popular Thai artists come up on here. Do you have any plans for like stand-up comedy or podcasts, or does it apply to any type of audio?
So yes, eventually we will have we'll add more categories, right? Where you can monetize your podcast. Same thing, right? Because we'll actually have it where you'll be able to upload the audio and video, right? And so,
Interesting.
yep. So that is coming down in the roadmap.
Cool. Well, I will keep checking back, man. And it's really nice to talk to you. And the best of luck with this. This sounds pretty kick ass. So I hope it
So
blossoms and develops and grows, and people see the value in this. And like I said, it's hard to convince people now where downloading, owning, or renting something is just instantaneous and gratifying. But I think
Right.
people are starting to realize, quality shit isn't necessarily always free, and there's real value in owning something yourself and connecting with the people that made it. So,
That's right.
yeah.
Exactly. Well, cool.
Well,
I
thanks,
appreciate
man.
it, Brad. Yep.
Yeah, good to meet you. And next time you're in Bangkok, let us know. We will we'll take you out to some old school blues bars or something like that, where you can slow things down a little bit.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Hopefully, we can connect them with a DMA.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. All right, man. Thank you very much. Best of luck. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
Dude, I found that fascinating. I'm not sure I totally understand the service, but it sounds very cool. I have a tiny little story that relates to this.
Right.
Way back in the day, God, I'd have to check the years, 2006, 7, something like that. I was into a viral YouTube band called Pamplemousse. And
I love that.
And one of the guys in Pamplemousse is a guy named Jack Conti. And when he was in Pamplemousse, he started talking about his idea for an artist service. And I remember him talking about it, going, "Oh, that sounds really cool." And then, of course, he founded Patreon.
Yes. Yeah.
So I had nothing to do with it. I was just a listener. But I feel like I remember him talking about his idea, and then he actually did it, which is really annoying when people do that.
That's cool. I love their cover of "Sweet Dreams" with Seven Nation Army.
It's great.
Fantastic.
No, Pamplemousse is great. Jack Conti, again, I don't know him at all. I just know, from the internet, but it's genuinely annoying. It could be, you know what I mean? Because he was a musician, he had a business idea, he got financing, started a ridiculous platform. So I don't know how much he's worth now. I'm guessing he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he still makes music, and it's really annoying. So he's still doing cool shit. Again, I don't know how much money he's worth, but a lot.
It's probably really nice too. I hate that guy.
Yes. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mentioned it to Mario about how we were on Patreon. I really like Patreon. I like the concept of it. But Dreamster, it's a similar idea, but it's much more advanced. And like you said, I have a hard time understanding this. And like I mentioned,
I'm not sure I totally get it.
Like I mentioned with Mario, I said, I consider myself fairly technically proficient, but I'm starting to bump up against the limit of what I can really grok easily in terms of technology now.
It's just a thing. It's like as you get older, it's just quite difficult to keep up.
Yeah, but it's really, really interesting. And the stuff he's talking about, and once you get on the website, Dreamster.io, and you start reading a little bit about the tech behind it and the concepts and the context of what they're trying to do, it's like the guys who put this together must be crazy smart, and they're thinking of music in a way which you and I probably have never even approached or will never. Not even that we haven't, it's just that we can't. So the angle of musical ownership is one thing, but the tech angle is a whole other thing. And it's so interesting to see how the whole music industry and landscape has been seismically changed over the past couple of decades. And it doesn't seem like it's slowing down.
Agreed. I listen to a ton of music. I know you're a huge fan. I love live music.
Right.
And I follow a few YouTube artists. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking of this chick named Mary Spender. And one thing I like about her is she's a singer-songwriter, but she talks about this exact issue. How she makes money, trying to find new avenues, like self-releasing albums.
Right.
So she discusses the changing music industry, how she has to rely on live concerts as opposed to selling CDs.
Yeah.
So she. I like the fact that she's a great artist. I think she's got a great voice. She's a good guitar player. I think she's a good songwriter. But I like the fact that she's. I guess she's just transparent. So she talks about her efforts to survive as a solo musician, in the modern era.
Right. Yeah, it's not easy. And, like Mario said, you play 100,000 streams or something, and you get a couple of coins in your pocket.
That's right. It's crazy. The math is crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting hearing his experiences with the Thai artists too, and how he said he was so impressed with their creativity and their drive, and it's really cool seeing them take advantage of things like this that can potentially just blast their music into a global audience. I mean, that's nothing new, right? I mean, YouTube's been around for a long time, but like I said, it's really cool that young, hip people, like a lot of the musicians in Thailand, are really savvy, and platforms like this are giving them some cool opportunities. Yeah,
I hope so. I mean, I listen to a ton of live music, and they're so talented.
Yeah.
That it's just like they deserve to make a decent living. They don't just a decent living. Like most of them would be totally satisfied to be like firmly in the middle class. Like most of them, I think, would be just give me a steady paycheck, so I can do what I love. But just getting a steady paycheck is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, thanks, Mario, for coming on and talking about it. It's a really, really cool idea. I hope it takes off. And like I said to him, Ed, next time he's in town, we have to go and meet up with him and take him for some old school live music without any of this complicated blockchain stuff. We'll just sit there.
For sure. For sure. Thanks, Mario.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some love, loathe, or live with, where one of us picks a particular aspect of living in Bangkok, which we discuss to decide if it's something we love about living here, loathe about living here, or have come to accept as something that we just have to learn to live with no matter how we feel about it. And this week, Ed, over to you. What do you got?
All right, dude, I got a kind of oldie but goodie, and this has come up amongst my group of friends and with people visiting Thailand. So what is your general take on foreign food in Bangkok? Are you someone who loves it, capitalizes on it, or are you a person who thinks that, hey, I'm in Thailand, I should be eating Thai food?
No, that's a good question. I eat probably more Farang food than I should. Like when I go shopping, I always spend way more than I do because I'm buying sausages and, sauces, pastas and things like that. So I do a lot of cooking at home, and I shouldn't. I should be out on the street. Like I got a bunch of street stalls like 50 meters from my door. I should be doing that. So I for some reason, I don't know, comfort food. I just like cooking what I know how to cook.
Do you take advantage of things like, Bangkok's got good Mexican food, it's got good Indian food, it's got good Lebanese food? Have you gone, I guess my question is kind of like, have you gone international? Do you look at Bangkok like, wow, I've got access to the world's cuisines?
Yes. Oh, totally. One of my son's favorites things to order is from Beirut. He loves shawarmas. He loves the garlic sauce, and the little Indian joint around the corner from our house. He loves the samosas from there. So yeah, we keep it pretty broad,
pretty inter. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm on the same page. I'm a lover of it, but I do understand when people visit that they're like, hey, I'm in Thailand, I want to eat Thai food. So I kind of get that. But for us, for expats or whatever you want to call us, I think it's just great that we just I feel like I have access to, and I don't even think I'm that broad. Like I'm not into French food. I don't eat like Korean barbecue. I'm not into kimchi. I'm not a sushi guy. So it's not like I'm not even taking advantage of all the options. But I love the fact that I can get Lebanese or Mexican or Indian or Thai food.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Bangkok has really come into its own in the past decade with food. And they just released, like a while ago, right? They just released the top 50 restaurants in the world, and Bangkok had 6 of them.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, but I love the international quality. And I'm a fan of Thai food, so I'm not someone who's saying, oh, I don't like Thai food, I want to eat international food.
Right.
I've just, over the years, I've learned that I really like the variety. I think we talked about once, I was down in, what's that beach town called? I'm just blanking. I was down in a Thai beach town. It wasn't Hua Hin. It's like a very Thai beach town.
Okay.
And I wanted to get Lebanese food, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, what? Like, there's no Lebanese food. But, there's Thai food everywhere, which I like.
Right.
But I like having the options,
Fair enough. Yeah, I get it. No, I think Bangkok's a great place for that. And, I mean, Indian food in Bangkok is good. It's not as good as Indian food in India, but I think we're doing pretty well.
For sure. All right, I'm a love.
Yeah, me too. I love it too.
Okay, final thanks to our patrons who support the show. Patrons get a ton of cool perks and the warm, fuzzy feeling knowing that they're helping in our never-ending quest for cool content. Find out more by clicking support on our website. And connect with us online. We're Bangkok Podcast on social media, bangkokpodcast.com on the web, or simply bangkokpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from our listeners and always reply to our messages, unless, of course, you're an agent who sends endless pitch emails on behalf of a client.
That's right. You can also listen to each episode on YouTube. Send us a voicemail through our website that we'll feature on the show. Hit me up on Blue Sky at BKK Greg. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you back here next week.